Hey everyone, nine other video floppy world. Today I'm taking a look at starter deck 32, which is OP12 with Zoro. Starter decks came out a couple weeks ago. I was busy, so I didn't get the opportunity to get to view them and look over them at the start. But we're taking a look at the unofficial Mihawk starter deck, the unofficial Kozuki Odin starter deck from EVO1, the insert slash leader here. We're looking at I almost played this deck at Doors sealed format. I had it sleeved, I had it ready. The only thing that held me back, that of the 16 people that were out of it, I think 8 of them were running. Very solid deck, fun, it's out of the box. This is great. We're gonna get into why it's great here, but now I think this is good. That's one thing I want to say about all the starter decks. They're all very good. They can be optimized, yes, but they are all fun out of the box. They do what they want out of it. There are a little bit of weaknesses, yes, but it also helps advise the character, helps you build a bit better by noticing. So let's take a look. Roronoa 0, Supernova, Straw Hat, True Type, OP12, number 20, Block 3. He's 5 life, mono green. He is a 5k slash. And on X3, activate main once per turn. If this leader battles your opponent's character during this turn, set this leader active. Then this leader cannot attack your opponent's character until the base cost of 7 or less. So, if you manage to fight a character with or without the Dawn attached, you can choose to untap this card and then do what you want. You can rest him with another character's effect or card's effect. You can swing in with him again, or you can do nothing at all. If you swing in with him, you could go into leader or a character, but it's a character that's got a cap cost 8, 9, or 10. It's base cost 7 or less. So if you care about raised cost or lowered cost, it has to have an 8, 9, or 10. Honestly, not a bad effect. I like the ability to swing in to get in another hit, but you can't swing at the opponent's leader. Oh, you technically can. You could swing into your opponent's leader, and if your opponent activates blocker, well, it's gonna battle the character blocker. So it's battle the character. You can run the effect. That is a very important distinction for, I think it's OP06 Rosonate, which is a leader with blocker. So if you block with Rosonate, it does turn off Zoro's effect. But such a niche action of the leader that is not really that popular. Sonic free is a little steep, but the entire deck's about setting this up. So let's take a look into that. Similarly, excuse me, similarly to the other starter decks, all cards are going to be at 4 count quality or quantity, with the exception of 3 cards being at 2. I will point those out when so let's take a look. First off is Suzuki Hiyori, OP12, number 26, rare, block 3. The 1 cost 0k wisdom with 1k counter. Activate main. You may one of your Dawn and this character. Zoro, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. They all up to 1 slash attribute or event, and place the rest of the bottom of your deck in order. So, recurring searcher, not a one-off, one on play, such as pros and cons. Pros, you're able to recur again and again if you manage the defender. Not the easiest thing, also not biggest target. The con, you gotta rest her and the Dawn, so technically you can't use her turn 1. She's 2 Dawn. Use leader lock to Zoro, fine, because you're playing a Zoro deck. Being able to search out slashes or green events is nice. I think, one other character who's not a slash type in this. So you essentially get to peek out the entire deck except for heal tree. It's designed that way so you can't pull every copy from the deck. And another character we will get to for. Next up are Kinemon. Kinemon is starter deck 32, number 1, a common, block 5, so an original card. The 1 cost 2k slash with a counter. You may rest one of your slash attributes or one of your dons. Draw 1 card and trash 1 card, or 2 cards and trash 1. Good effect, nothing much to say. Arguably, if you are on your first turn, first player, Kinemon is going to be a better option than 3. Because you can rush your leader for no debuff, draw 2, trash 1. Second turn, or first turn, second player, so you have 2 Dawn. I'd go Fiori first, but Kinemon is not a bad option. Gets card advantage in your hand. And not slash attribute restricted. You can run him in other decks with special leader. Wisdom. Next up, we have Zoro. I think this is in 2 of. Yep, this is 2 of. Third deck 32, number 5, a common, block 5, 1 cost 2k slash with a counter. He has rush character. On play, if your leader has the slash attribute, rest up to one of your opponent's characters, will cost for. Is he the best option? No, but he is a tech option, and I like that he's at 2 of. 2k counter is pretty good, and that's arguably where you want to use him. A counter engine. Having a rush character, not bad, but having only 2k power means where you realistically swing. As your leader Zoro, you have the slash attribute. Guess that one of your opponent's characters of a cost of 2 or less as rested. And those 2 cost, 1 cost characters be low power for being realistic. So if you got an opponent's character who's a pain, you can play Zoro and swing in with him. He also is only 1 Dawn, so being able to attach multiple Dawn to him will not advise that well. And since your leader is the slash attribute, trusting one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less also allows your leader to attack into an opponent's character and optimize his effect. So you don't even have to attack into that character with Zoro. You could attack into him with Zoro. Zoro the leader, that be. Koshiro, OP 12, number 27, uncommon, block 3, 2 cost 1k slash with 1k counter. He's got the blocker effect, and if your slash attribute character of a cost of 5 or less, other than this character will be KO'd by your opponent's effect, you may rest this character instead. So he's a blocker, he's got KO protection, it's specific KO protection. 5 or less isn't 5, it's solid, but it does have to be slash, which works in this deck. Not much to really say here, but solid card. Kuina, OP 12, number 26, an uncommon, block 3, 4 cost 1k with slash and a 1k counter. I'd be thinking of 4 cost for 1k. Ugh. But let's take a look at what it does. Activate main, rest this character, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a base cost of 4 or less. So, an opportunity for your leader Zoro to strike in. You still need free attached Dawn. Well, she gives free rested Dawn cards to your Zoro leader. So your Zoro is going to be able to have a target to hit and be able to create this effect right there. And he's gonna have an 8 power, 8k power going into 4 cost. Now the best 4 cost I could think of unbuffed would be a vanilla, which would be 6. You got 8 into a 6. Opponent needs free cane counter. It's just not going to survive. So this Kuina card, very nice. if I could be picky, and I'm gonna be picky just because I can, I would love it if she had 2K count. Don't always. That's just me. Yeah, there's not much else to say about it. I solid card. Gonna be the end all be all. No, but it's a way to attach free Dawn and protector with a blocker such as Kyoshiro. You can do the effect next turn, so you can play a better card after you rest Dawn. That's an opponent's target. 3. Then Roronoa, OP 10, number 36, common block 3. 4 cost 5k special, 1k counter. And return if character is rested by your effect, set one Dawn cards. Active. It's by effect, it doesn't count by hacking, but you have options to rest stuff. We'll see later. Best card? No. Solid card? Yes. I think there's better replacement pieces for this Roronoa, but you're fine enough with you. Not much to say. Silver's a right. Former Roger Pirate. Starter deck 32, number 4, a common block 5. So it's another original. The 4 cost 5k slash with 1k counter. The leader has the slash attribute. This character gets character. Not bad. Only attacking characters, but it's still a solid effect. Impression. And on play, rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2. Not only can Rayleigh rest up to 2 characters, he gets to attack into it, and then your Zoro leader can attack into it. This could serve as a nice tech piece, as well as giving opportunity of games if the opponent is blockers. Koshiro is a 2k blocker. He also has that protection piece that if he's rested, he can't rest himself again. So I'm a fan of this card. Game breaking, no, but I like it. Starter deck 24, number 5, common, block 3. This is from the Bonnie starter deck. Extra. He's a 5 cost, 5k slash with 2k under. Nice to get some more 2k in there. If your leader is the supernova type, rest up to 1. One's characters with a cost of 5 or less. The supernova type, so you get a free rest. Not bad. But when your Dawn is active at the end of this turn, that's more for the Bonnie piece. Having a 2k counter, 5k body, of rest target, or ability to rest one of your opponents. Pretty nice. The 1 Dawn at the end of the turn isn't as crazy. I'll explain later. But in variations of this deck list, when you get customizing it, you could do some stuff. Kawamatsu. So, Kawamatsu, 5 cost 6k slash with 2k counter. OP 12, number 23, common block 3, vanilla. Vanilla, he's 5 cost 6k, 2k, vanilla. There's much more to play him. He pencil with him, but you're gonna want to use him for the counter. That's the crux of it. There's not much. Zoki Odin, starter deck 32, number 2 was super rare, block 5. This is super rare, so you know there's only 2 of this in the deck. He's a 5 cost 6k slash, 1k counter. On play, draw 1 card. Up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a base cost of 6 or less cannot be rested until. So cannot be rested is borderline the most powerful form of stun. The opponent cannot attack with it, the opponent cannot block with it, and the opponent cannot rest it for effect. Your con, you can't target it to be rested either, but that's whatever. You're already stunned it. You negated its ability to anything besides effects that are passive, that don't require it to be. If you were to use this on the Kazuki Hiyori, for example, it can't. It's main because you have to rest this character. Use this on Koshiro, he can't block. And if this on over Rayleigh, he can attack. That's true for all 3 state spaces. So drawing a card, very nice. Getting a body out on the field, very nice. And stunning your opponent's cost or less, really. Only issue, he doesn't rest. Zoro wants you to rest your opponent's stuff, but that's Shigi OP12 number 31 Block 3. The 5 cost 7k flash. On play, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with cost of give 3 rested Dawn cards to your. But this works out very nice. Con, no counter, little rough in that regard. But for 5k, you're getting out a 7 drop. You're resting with your opponent's base cost 6 or less, and they now have 3 Dawn attached to your Zoro leader. You have a valid target for your Zoro, and you're turning your Zoro engine on. There's really nothing more that you want. This is arguably one of the most optimal cards for the Zoro. Big guy is under starter deck original. It's just super rare, so you know there's 2 of them. Starter deck 32, number 3, rare block 5, Dracula. 6 cost 7k with flash. Your turn. When this character becomes rested, this is by effects or attacking. Draw 1 card and trash 1 from your. So being able to cycle a card, pretty nice. Much to say there, but yeah. Being able to cycle a card every single turn is good. You got something bad in hand. Out. Don't like what you picked. Cost the one you just pulled. Here's the big kicker. On play, if your leader has slash action, does play up to 1 character with a cost of 5 or less. Roronoa or has the slash action from your hand. Wow. Very nice. This is the second time we're seeing in a starter deck that you are able to out a character. And it's a significant character. 5 cost is pretty strong. The Roronoa is for more lower than anything else. And that's kind of why we have her in the deck. She's another valid target that's fine enough to use. But slash attribute, yeah. So not much to say. We're gonna get into combos with him later, which will show why he pops up. Ryoma is next. OP 15, number 36, a common, block 4. 6 cost 8k slash with the no counter. On play when attacking, KO one of your opponent's characters that are rested with a cost of less. Crazy? No, it's good. 8k puts on a lot of pressure. Get removal with an on play is nice. And green has the capability of resting a lot of stuff. Not much to say. Solid. Can he get removed? I think so. I think there's better options out there. But I also think that there's a lot worse that can be. Finally up, Luffy is the man who will become king of pirates. OP 12, number 39, there. Block 3. 3 costs, and the ability of setting your Zoro leader is active. Straightforward. There's nothing much to really say here. It sets your Zoro leader as active. You gotta swing in with him. You gotta use it defensively if your opponent wants to secure rested characters. I don't know what to say. Trigger up to one of your leader character cards gets +1 fast power during this turn. Broken? No. It's at a nice little touch on top. The free Dawn is something we'll talk about in a second. So why should you run this deck? You like Zoro as a character. You're gonna play sealed against someone, you really don't know what to do, but you want something good. This is like one of the most complete decks out of the box. While having 4 of the Odin and 4 of the Mihawk would be nice, realistically don't need 4 of the Zoro, the 2-drop Zoro. I think you can play this out of the box, have a great time, and that's why I was going to go with this for my tournament. This was pretty good, pull out of the box. A lot of great plays, a lot of combos. It makes you think, but you see what wants to occur. Let's take a look at some combo pieces. I think that this is a deck that's odd. Want to go on your 1 Dawn turn, 3 Dawn turn, 5 Dawn turn, 7 Dawn turn. It's tough. Now that I'm speaking it out loud, 6 is a little bit nicer in my opinion. Going even. If you go even, you have both options of Hiyori and Kinemon to utilize for drawing some cards. Hiyori's a bit better than Kinemon. If you don't have either or, you can set up some defense with Koshiro. On your 4 Dawn turn, you have Kuina, Roronoa. Kuina is arguably your best piece right there by setting up something offensive, setting up your Zoro leader, but you can also get a very similar effect with Rayleigh. I like Kuina a bit more. Roronoa, setting up a Dawn is active by resting a character by effect. There's going to be a lot of resting that occurs here. Kuina, Rayleigh, look at the Zoro, right? She's going to be one that combos better in the later game. Then set her up now for preparedness, but I feel you want to get aggressive as possible. Setting up an AK leader strike early game, not bad. Going to your 6 Dawn turn, you want to drop the Hawk. And your Hawk, you have 3 great options. Option number 1 is to drop the Mihawk. You have a 7k body on the night. Combo that into Shishigi. Shigi's got rest one of your opponent's 6 Dawn. They might have like a 5 drop out. Okay. But then give your leader free rest of Dawn. Not only are you getting 2 7ks on the board, but now Zoro is turned on. You can swing into a character, swing into your opponent's character. Very nice play. Don't have Shigi. I'd go Odin. Draw a card and then freeze one of your opponent's 6 costs. You've got great defense. Got out a 7 and a 6 on board. Or works well. And then my next pick is actually Kuina, because you want to do the Zoro effect. You're playing this leader who plays effect. There's so many different slash attributes. And not to say much, but Mihawk is arguably a little bit better for such as that, but I digress. If you're playing Zoro, effect. So Kuina is a great way to utilize her effect. You only have to rest the character, so for your 6 drop, you get out a 4 drop, rest free, attach to your leader. Now your opponent wants to KO Kuina. If they can't do effects and want to do it from combat, you've already been picking off their lower tier stuff. Kuina is going to have to either tank a bulky hit from one of your opponent's higher end cards, giving you good defense, or she's something low where you could protect her and survive, or just let her go. It opens up a target to swing in with Zoro. So very nice. If you're on your 6 drop turn, you don't have the Hawk, I would go for Tashi. She's just good. Ryuma, not a bad option if you build up some board presence and you don't have better pieces. Zoro's a late game kind of guy, but with early game cards. So let's say you have all 10 Dawn. What's the number 1 card you want to play? Mihawk. Okay, who do you combo off Mihawk? Number 1 combo is Shigi. Number 2, Odin. Number 3, play it by ear there. You might want X Drake out. I like him a bit more for the counter. You might want Rayleigh out for removing some of your opponent's weaker stuff. You got options there. If I'm not playing Hawk, I'm playing Shigi. Not playing Shigi or Hawk, it's going to Odin. If I'm not playing either of those, I'd set up Ryuma. Ryuma's like my number 4 pick. Another interesting thing you can do, you've had your Hiyori since turn 1, you're cycling, you hit 10 Dawn. You've got 2 copies of Luffy's Demand who becomes King of the Pirates. You can attach 4 to your Zoro. Swing in to one of your opponent's characters. Set your Zoro leader active with Luffy's Demand to become King of the Pirates. Swing in a leader. Do it again. Swing in a leader. And then you can use your Zoro's main effect. Swing into 10. 3 hits in a life. Not bad. 3 hits as a 9k to life. Really good. What else can you do? If you have the Kuina out, well, you could... I guess here's your most optimized combo that you can realistically... You have Kuina out, 3 copies of Luffy's Demand to become King of the Pirates in hand, and the 1-drop Zoro. The opponent has a 2 cost or less character on the field. Using your 5k, you swing in to your opponent's leader, rip a card from hand, deal damage. So you're at 1 on your counter for swinging in it. Drop Luffy's Demand who become King of the Pirates. Untap. Use Kuina. Attach those 3 Dawn to your Zoro. Oh, you don't even have to play the Zoro leader because like the Kuina rests. That's right. So you can go 4. Attach that extra one. Okay, scratch this. Restart. Attach a Dawn to Zoro as the leader. He's at 6. Into your opponent's leader. Get rip a 2k from opponent's hand or get a damage going through. Pretty solid. Play Luffy's Demand comes King of the Pirates. You've rested for Dawn. Zoro is active. Use your Kuina to rest one of your opponent's 4 cost or less. Then attach the free rested Dawn to your leader. You are now a 9k. The opponent has a rested character. You could swing into the character. Use Luffy's Demand to become King of the Pirates again. Swing into your opponent's leader. You're at 2 hits. Luffy again. You're at 3 hits. And then go in, use your effect, restand him, go in for your forfeit. This deck is fun because there's a lot of combo potential. Especially your opponent's characters is very with a lot of aggression for remove. My little bit of cons, not too much defense in here, which could be a little rough. There's no counter events. Got 3 dead cards in hand. Got maybe 6 2k counters. Well, no, you have to call it monster. You got 10 2k counters. It's not terrible. But yeah, again, it lacks on defense, but Zoro is a very straightforward off attack, which helps him out. Deck's pretty good. If you're to take 2 copies of the deck, put them together, what are you grabbing? What are you pulling? You want 2 more Odin, 2 more Hawk. And I don't think you'd have any harm with 2 more of the Zoro. Rona's not bad, but you could cut her out for being realistic. She's a once per turn, so sitting on your Dawn active is cool, but not game breaking. So you could pull 4 of her out. Say you only want to pull 2 of her out. However, who else do you pull? Fiuma can go. I don't mind him as a tech piece that I do of, but realistically in his deck he's expensive. You have a lot of great other options for offense. So you can pull to get him as the 4, and Corona as the 2. You pull Corona as the 4 and Fiuma as the 2. Pull 2 and 2. If you pull 2 and 2, who's the other 2 you're gonna pull? One of Kiori and one of Kinemon. These are early game cards that are meant to build up, and I think having 3 of them is fine. You don't need all 4. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know, as someone who didn't play Zoro, but fond of the character for the card spec, if I get them right, how do you play Zoro? And how would you build the deck? You give them to choose whatever you want. How do you want to build this character? That's gonna do it for today with the Hawk starter. No, Zoro starter deck. But It's the Mihawk starter deck. Should do it. My friends, as always, I hope you have a beautiful day. Stay sloppy. Bye.